Okay, you're live.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We would love you. First of all, my name is Tracy Heilers. I'm founder and executive director of Coalition of Schools Educating Mindfully, and I'm emceeing this special event for my friend, colleague, and new children's author, Lindsey Frank. So we'd love to hear who's here by chatting in the chat box. Where you're from. I think we saw someone here from Ireland. We really appreciate this time we're going to be able to spend together, and it'll be more personal if we can see who we're with. Let me go to the chat box here. And so today our agenda will be, of course, Lindsey reading her wonderful book with us, and we'll have time for Q&A. And I do want to start, though, with sharing a little bit of what I have learned about Lindsey. So I met Lindsey through the Coalition of Schools Educating Mindfully, and now she is in a leadership role with us as a board member. And I see some introductions coming in from London. Hi, Annette, Annette, and Jenny. Awesome. Oh, Lindsey's mom's here. Yay.
Hi,
Mom. From Bartlett. Awesome. So we have people from all over. But as I was saying, I'm very fond of Lindsey, and we've grown to be friends, and we work together. Almost daily, we communicate regarding the Coalition of the Schools Educating Mindfully and the services we offer for school communities. But just sharing more formally from her bio here, Lindsey Frank is dedicated in embedding wellness into the fabric of education and everyday life. I can attest to this. She's a true inspiration. Her vision is to create and share masterpieces to support, inspire, and transform humanity. Her experiences with education include being a district-wide climate and social emotional learning coach, a K-8 interventionist, a guiding reading teacher, 7th grade pre-algebra teacher, and teaching diverse learners in special education resource settings. She has an endorsement to support learners with diverse languages, and her master's degree is in educational leadership and in administration and supervision. So she's a learning behavior specialist. She's certified in restorative practices, a certified yoga instructor through Breathe for Change, and also has done coursework with Mindful Schools. So you are an inspiration with what you have done already in your career, but I just want to share that you're also an inspiration to me very much in how to be a mindful leader and how to embody caring. And I just feel like the love that you have for children and educators just exudes. So every time we are together, I just leave recharged and inspired. So I hope that's how everybody will feel today in this author event. I was so excited to hear Lindsey, on top of everything else, was creating a children's book. So I definitely wanted to be part of this event for her. And I think maybe we'll start with Lindsey, having you lead a mindful moment for us, and just what we can expect, our expectations for this time together.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tracy. My heart is just so full, and thanks to your friendship and partnership and mentorship as well. I really appreciate you being my host here today, and friend and partner here. So thank you, and thank you all so much for being here today. I'm so happy. So let's take a moment here, just a mindful moment for ourselves, so we can be focused and ready for our reading and our time together. So I invite you, wherever you are, maybe you might want to sit, maybe stand, and just bring yourself fully here. Maybe feeling the bottoms of your feet. Maybe place your hands on your heart and feel that heartbeat you have, and knowing how beautiful it is. And then take the biggest breath of the day in. and out. And then with a smile, if your eyes were closed, go ahead and open them. If they're open, come back into our space as we are here today to enjoy reading, have some fun, laugh, and learn some new tools along the way. So I hope you leave feeling inspired. My book has been all about change, and we have a lot of changes going on. And so it is just such great gratitude for Barbara's Bookstore for letting this event happen. And please know at any time down at the bottom, you have 10% off of a book that you can get from them. And fun fact, if you order the hardcover, I ended up traveling to the store because this wasn't able to be live, and I signed all of the hardcover copies. So feel free, click down below and support our local bookstore. So thank you so much. All right. So for our time here, I'm actually curious because Deborah, Tara, Jolinda, and Sam, are you perhaps here with us today? If so, just give a little shout out in the chat. These are some of my partnerships along the way, and they were going to see if maybe they could join us, and they might join a little bit later, but we can see. And those were my book designer, editor, illustrator, and a friend who inspired me to write this book, which I'm sure, yes, Sam! She is the inspiration behind this book as well. So I'm very, very excited that you're here today. All right. So if we have some of our young readers with us here too today, please make sure you're going to be staying in your space. We are going to be moving around a bit if you'd like to. I know for me and Tracy here, she'll probably be, focused on the book, and some of our adult readers, you are more than welcome to join me too, but I know you like to be focused. So our young readers, make sure that you are here, present, and ready to engage. And I will be asking some questions in the chat box. So make sure that you answer them, see what happens. And also, if you have any question along the way, you can use the question like Tracy mentioned, and she's going to let us know at the end those questions. All right. So let's take one more breath in and one more breath out. And let's get started today. So my book is Big Change, Better You, Beautiful World. And it's written by me, and my illustrator is Tara Thalen. She's actually from Amsterdam, and she was the one that helped to create this beautiful butterfly. And Deborah was the one to put all of the other pieces together to our puzzle here. For our adults and families and teachers who are here with us, in the front, you'll notice that there are some tips for family and educator connections and strategies for having some of these tricky conversations about change. So I wanted to share that with you as well. Here we go. Change is happening all the time. Small change, big change, and sometimes really, really big change. Within a moment, your plans may change. Like for me, I thought this would be in person, but we have everything going on, so we are safe online. An experience may change, you may change, and the world may change. We've definitely seen that. What are some changes you've had in your life? Think about that for a moment and put in the chat box. What are some of those changes you've noticed that you've had? I'll give us about 5 seconds and I'll continue on with our story.
And then Lindsey, when we are not able to see the page that's farthest away from you, so just because you're kind of, yes, oh, I'd love to thank you. And move it back just a little bit. I'll let you know kind of a good, yes, thank you.
You are welcome. Thanks, Tracy. Well, I know even if they're not in the chat box, we've had quite a few changes. You may have some questions about change. We all do. I know a lot about change, and I would love to share my story with you. Do you know who I am? I am courageous. I am patient. I am beautiful.
Love it.
Who do you think that is? Again, I'll give you about 5 seconds to write your answer on who you think this is. Who can help us with all of these changes?
Ellie shared that she's going to a new school, so that's a big change. And then Jenny shared she's not able to give and get hugs right now. Oh, Chase says it's a butterfly.
All right, let's count. 1, 2, 3. You are correct. It is me, the butterfly. Wonderful guessing there, Chase. You got it. I like to think of change as more of a transformation. So feel free at home, if you'd like to do the movements with me, you can. Transformation. When we transform, we can become something even greater. Our hearts can grow bigger, our impact can be better, and we can create a more beautiful world. However, transformation is not easy. It can be challenging.
Go to each side a little bit because we're seeing, yeah, there we go. Wonderful.
Thanks, Tracy. Do you know about my transformation? My journey began as an egg on a perfectly green leaf. So go ahead and show your green leaf. Let your hand be your leaf. And you can even add your egg on your leaf if you'd like. I was so small and hidden and protected. Then I became a caterpillar. Go ahead and show your little caterpillar coming out. I got to work right away on eating my delicious leaf. This is like how you eat up and learn about everything around you. Something happened at this stage though. I knew that something bigger was coming. I just did not know what. The day came when I began to climb the tallest tree, higher and higher, braver and braver. Go ahead and climb your tree. Yes, as high as you can. It was time for me to create my chrysalis. Different things were happening in and around me. I felt scared, but I needed to trust my heart that something magical and better was about to happen. Have you ever needed to be brave before? Go ahead and put in the chat box, yes or no, or maybe. Have you ever needed to be brave before? Oh yes, absolutely.
Lots of yeses.
Thank you. I burst out of my chrysalis and transformed into this, ta-da, a beautiful butterfly. I was right that something magical and beautiful was happening, even though it was hard. And then down at the bottom, the little caterpillar is stating a quote that I love here. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. From Maya Angelou. Now this is kind of like where we are, even with like COVID-19 and everything, we're in our chrysalis. And that's how I know that we are going to be moving into the butterfly, right? We all have this in our lives. Even when we're at home right now, we're inside. Okay, I'm going to show you this page up close. So at home, feel free to read it at the same time as me. 1, 2, 3. That is great, butterfly. But what if I feel nervous? It's okay to feel nervous about transforming. That is one of many feelings. Let me make sure we're back to being clear. Something I learned to do when I felt nervous during my journey was to be in the present moment. Very important. And that's being mindful. Being in the present moment helps you to stop and know what is happening right here, right now, with your body, your breath, emotions, and your thoughts. The present moment is a wonderful place to be all the time, but it is super helpful if you are feeling nervous or any other emotion that may distract your mind. So now we are going to try our first tool. There are 2 on this page, but we are only going to do one, and you can explore the other one when you have your own book from Barbara's bookstore. You can click below to order that. All right, so the first one for present moment. There are steps here, so feel free to stand up if you have the space. Again, for our young readers, you'll definitely want to make sure that you have some space here. And I'm going to walk us through our steps. All right, here we go. Step 1, pause where you are. Step 2, breathe in and breathe out. Step 3, you get to choose here. Either stomp your feet or clap your hands 20 times, or you could do both at the same time. You ready? Set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Step 4, pause and ask, how do my feet or my hands feel? Do they feel tingly, hot, cold, other sensation? Am I in the present moment? And you know that you're in the present moment when you're only thinking about your hands or your feet or both. All right, step 6 or 5, place your hands on your heart and feel your heartbeat. Step 6, breathe in and breathe out. All right, go ahead and shake it out. Nice working. And as I mentioned, there's one more tool here, and then you would be picking which tool you like the best, and then when you think that there would be a good time to use it during your day. So there's always a question here for your tools. So let's go ahead and take a look at our pictures.
Oh, there it's now. You were blurry, but now it came back.
All right, next one to read. 1, 2, 3.
Kind of blurry.
What if I like how everything is right now? It's okay to like how everything is right now and to not want to change. This is one of many thoughts you may have. I thought about this when I had to leave my caterpillar self behind. Something I learned to do when I enjoyed being in my caterpillar stage was to be grateful. Being grateful is even more powerful when you are in the present moment. As a caterpillar, I was grateful for the blue sky, the yummy leaves, the trees, the clean air, my caterpillar smile, my home, and so much more. So this tool, again, we won't do this one today, but you would be exploring the steps on how to be grateful with your own gratitude list, and then thinking about how you can set a gratitude timer throughout your day, every day. But my question for you is there something that you are grateful for that you would like to put in the chat box? And if not, that's okay, because I know it's in your heart. Okay, here's our last one. Oh yes, your friends. Thank you, Tracy. Your mom and your dad. Great, Ellie. Yes. Family, wonderful. Okay, so here's our last question together, friends. What if it's hard? Yeah, it can be hard, right? It's okay to feel like it is hard. That is one of many thoughts. Transforming can be very hard, but it can teach us so many beautiful lessons. Something I learned to do when my journey felt hard was to be courageous. I love this picture here. They look like they are so brave and courageous. So courageous is another word or a synonym for brave. But I like the word courageous. It sounds even more powerful. Even if you may not feel like you're courageous, your words are powerful and they can help you become courageous in the future. And I'm going to read this page one more time because it's so important. That even if you may not feel like you are courageous, your words are powerful and they can help you become courageous in the future. We are totally going to do this one. You will need to stand up again for this one. I'd encourage you to. If not, that's okay. You can stay seated. But to feel courageous and brave, I feel like you definitely need to stand up for this one. It's do more like a power pose. You can really feel it, okay? So before we get started with it, you have to think about, well, what does it look like to be courageous? Maybe courageous looks like this. Maybe it looks like a superhero. Maybe it looks like just standing tall and proud. Maybe it's with a smile. So you pick how you want to look for being courageous. Yes, Tracy's going for the superhero here. All right, here we go. Step 1, pause where you are. Step 2, breathe in and breathe out. Step 3, here you go with your choice. Either sit or stand up tall with confidence with your courageous heart. Go ahead and make your choice. Step 4, you're going to say, I am brave, I am courageous, I am ready. Now for me, I can't always remember those, so I like to write them down. So I wrote them really big for you. All right, so on the count of 3, we're going to say these together. 1, 2, 3. I am brave, I am courageous, I am ready. Yes, wonderful. Step 5, breathe in and breathe out. And step 6, smile and believe it. Sometimes you may have other words that you may want to say to yourself, like, I am important, I am enough, I am curious. So your challenge for this one is to create your own I am word list and figuring out what you would say. So I'd encourage you to think about what it is that you would say, or if you loved one of these, maybe pick the one that you really liked. And feel free to share that in the chat box too throughout our time. So our pictures again. And you'll notice with my book, this is like a pattern. So I did this on purpose so that if you were to take my book, because I know sometimes like families like to take their favorite books with them. And let's say you really needed a tool quickly, you can find and look for pages that look like this and you knew that it's a tool. And so that you know you can find it right away to help you at any moment. Well, what if I'm afraid, and what if I feel sad, and what if it's scary, what if I feel angry, what if I do not want to, what if I feel alone, what if it seems worse, what if I do not feel the same way as my family and friends? Oh my goodness, so many what ifs, and we're spiraling out of control. I know that happens to me with my thoughts too, which is why it's so important, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's okay to feel all of these what ifs. There are all kinds of thoughts and feelings. But what if you can change the what if into I wonder? I wonder about the possibilities. I wonder how I can be brave. I wonder what I will learn. I wonder who I can become. You try it anytime today or this week that you notice you go into the what if, what if I don't want to eat this today? Or what if I can't see my friends today? Or what if I don't like that? Change it to I wonder. The magic here is that you get to choose how you see your transformation. Do you want to see it as what if, or do you want to see it as I wonder? Sometimes you need to trust and have hope. Just like me when I chose to wonder and when I chose to enter the chrysalis. My choices, trust, and hope transformed me so I can help make a more beautiful world. The best part is I use all the lessons I learned on my journey every day. Now I can help the world. I get to give back by helping flowers grow. The flowers are like your goals for the world and your service. What would you like your flower to be? This is one of my favorite pages too, because on the flower in the book, you get to draw your goal for the world. So think about that. And if you want to share in the chat box, feel free. What would your goal or your service be for the world? That's your flower. And if you are able to get my book, especially from Barbara's bookstore, I would love it if you wanted to take a picture and share it on social media with me. It fills my heart to see all of these beautiful things that we can do for our world. Remember, be in the present moment, be grateful, be courageous, and wonder. Whether there is a small change or there is a big change, there is a chance to become a better you. When you look within and love the journey, you can make a more beautiful world. Be ready to transform. It is a gift waiting for you. And on the last page, you get to imagine that this butterfly is you and add your creative colors. What would your transformation look like? Again, I would love to see your butterflies here. And the information is on this page for social media and how you can stay in contact with me as well. I'll just mention here, I know we might mention it later, but Twitter and Instagram is at Lindsey Frank 88. And then Facebook is at The Butterfly Within. And my website is www.thebutterflywithin.me. And then the about the author at the end. So I hope you all really loved my story and enjoyed reading together. Yes, thanks for the snaps, Tracy.
That was great.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for putting that in there, Barbara's Bookstore. All right.
Awesome. I love seeing some of the I am statements here as well from Carrie and Jenny. I'd love to ask you a few questions, and I also invite people who are listening to the story and who are here with us today to ask any questions. And you can do that in the chat box, or you can put it in the little ask the question box. But as we're waiting for people to think of their questions, are there any I am statements that you've had lately, Lindsey, that have helped you be courageous? I know that my I am statements change, throughout my life and throughout what's happening. But
yeah, I love what you mentioned there, Tracy, because that's so important. It changes all the time. And that's why when you create your own I am word list, that you're able to pick during the day what makes the most sense for that moment. Like I know just before this, it's kind of scary, right? You're on video, it's live, there's a lot of people here today sharing my book, and it's just, for those, I'm like, I am present, ready, and grateful. right? Just being grateful to spend this time and being fully present and enjoying this moment here together with everybody.
Wonderful. And I was going to ask you how you've recently been courageous, but today is a good example of that, and putting on this author event for us. We have lots of great jobs and people loving it, Lindsey. It was a wonderful highlight of Ella's day. Hi, Ella. Ella's with us with Coalition of Schools Educating Mindfully. And I saw Sharon's here too. Suriyama, I'm guessing that's our friend Sharon from COSM. But, something that came up for me it's funny, every time I read your book, a little, like an intuition or a message comes to me today. And today what came up is I just recalled when you're talking about being courageous, I thought back to a few times in my childhood that I wanted to be courageous, but like I couldn't find my voice to do it. Like maybe I thought of like a time where like some friends were talking about another friend and I just didn't feel good with how the conversation was going, but I didn't feel brave enough at the time to say something. And then like later, I remember later that day, like actually for several days, like I just felt bad. Like I felt bad about myself for not being brave enough. But this book today just kind of reminded me that it's journeys and lessons to carry on the journey, and the process to becoming brave. Like it's okay to have like a few times that you're not brave in a certain situation, and that just kind of builds the momentum inside you to like you make a commitment to be like, maybe your I am statement is, next time this happens, I can do it. I can be brave next time.
I love that, Tracy. Yeah, and I know for me as a child too, I didn't have as many friends, and trying to find my way and also find my voice during this time, and that's why it's this journey. And if we can have these tools now, like I imagine, like what if I had these tools as a kid? And so for those of our young readers here today, I'm excited you're here so you can have these tools.
Yeah, and as the person reading the book, whether you're a parent or a teacher, it can spur those conversations, to go further than even what's in the book to talk about these things.
Absolutely.
I see Carrie has a question. Have you always loved butterflies and their transformation? But I was wondering why you picked a butterfly for this book.
Yes. Things happen, you don't even know they're happening. I've loved butterflies since I was very, very small. And it probably started with my great grandmother, and she had butterflies everywhere. But for some reason, I always connected with it, and I didn't understand why until I wrote this book. And now I know why, because it was meant to be for my book, but I knew that when I was very young. And just the amazing journey that it has. Like the butterfly doesn't know it's going to turn into a butterfly. The butterfly doesn't know it's going to go inside this chrysalis, and it basically turns into goop. I mean, just thinking about that, right? And then for it to come out with wings, right? Like I had my wings earlier. It comes out with its wings, and I have yet to meet a person who does not admire the butterfly and just how powerful it is and the journey that it has. And it's just so beautiful, and the symbol behind it. Oh gosh, it's just so beautiful. And I realized I literally have butterflies in every room of my home. I didn't even realize it until after I wrote this book. It's like, oh, there's another butterfly.
How do you find
I have my mug.
Oh, nice. Okay, how do you find that are people just gifting you so many butterflies? You're going to be inundated now. It's all over. It's all over. Now you've written a butterfly book. That's all you're going to get for gifts. I love it. I love it. And that just made me think of how, to be able to look at the transformation of a butterfly, like how you said the butterfly doesn't really know when you're in it. You sometimes don't realize what's happening. It just feels like a challenge or something bad happening to you. But I feel like every time I've looked back in my life to a challenge and I think, oh, wow, I actually kind of am glad that happened so I could learn this, or so that then this next thing happens. So yeah, but when you're in it, you kind of have to soothe yourself and pick up this book to remind you that, that transformation's happening, even though you might not understand it all right now. Yeah.
Well, and even what you said there, Tracy, like I wrote this book as not just, okay, I'm going to read the book once. I wrote this book because every time you read it, to get something different, you're going to relate to something different throughout the whole time, every day, because you change throughout the day. And, I'm very curious. A year from now, I'm going to read my book again, and I'm going to see what resonates for me then too. It's just, I love it. I love being able to share this and just to see the impact that it can have.
Yeah, and you said is it your friend Sam is on today? Like that she was an inspiration for writing a book? Like what was the inspiration? How did she help you?
Yes. Okay. Yes. So there were two main things that happened. The first one was my phone conversation with my friend Sam, and I don't know if she's still on here, but she had called me and we were talking on the phone, and this was back in April when everything started changing in our world dynamic, and just how to have these conversations with kids. And after we were done with our conversation, she goes, "You should write a book about that." And I said, "I should." And so that's what happened. And in the same week, and I saw a couple of my friends here from Mine Valley, I had a mentor conversation with Anna Dea Judith, and she basically validated things with the butterfly. And I'm like, oh man, between my friend and the butterfly, I have to write this book. And so by the end of the month, I had it all written and ready, and I knew I needed to have it in the world as soon as possible. And my goal was by August, and I was able to do that, so that by the time school started, students were able to have access to this in their classroom, and the change in school, the change in life, just all of the changes and any change, right? Like I've had people reach out like, oh, my friends, they just had a loss in the family. Wonderful. Like use this book to support everybody through this challenging time and the transformation that you have. Or I've had people reach out like, oh my gosh, your book helped my family through a divorce and a change in family structures, right? So in the change in seasons, we have changes all the time, no matter how big or small. And I know somebody had shared, I think it was Ellie, about her new school, right? Yeah.
So you had the inspiration and it happened so quickly. Obviously you had some help with this book. Like what was the because you've never written a book before. Was that that has to feel overwhelming to be like, okay, I have this dream. Did you ever get down and think, okay, maybe this is too big of a thing, maybe I'm not going to be able to do it?
Yes, you go through those things, but again, I wrote this book and it was starting to become a running joke in the family, because when you start feeling that anxiety and then the what ifs happen, you're like, oh my goodness, there's my book, it's teaching me again. So I'd have to stop and like, okay, I'm going to turn these what ifs into an I wonder. And so that's kind of what keeps going. But I have to give again my shout outs here to Deborah Perdue from Illumination Graphics. She was the one that was able to put the words in the right place and the images in the right place. And Tara Thalen, who was the one who developed the butterfly and was the illustrator in the book. And Jolinda, I saw you here. Jolinda, my editor, Jolinda Capello, my Spanish editor, Paloma. And just such huge gratitude for the team that helped put this together, and very much my family, Jenny, Tony, Royce, who have my support, and they support me through any crazy idea I have, and I'm forever grateful and love them so much. And then also just the gratitude here again for Barbara's Bookstore, being able to have, first of all, my very first author event, which is so incredibly special here. To be able to still facilitate this even though we're not in person, And Tracy, I'm so grateful. I'm just going to keep going to gratitudes. Tracy, Tracy Heilers, I'm so grateful for you to be here and to just host, and again, just to be a great partnership, and all of my readers and all of you who are here. It's just, this seriously fills up my heart so much, and just I imagine the impact that this can have, and all my mentors that I have here today. I saw a SCORE mentor, a personal growth mentor. I mean, oh, this is so amazing.
And I just, as we close our Q&A, if you have any other questions, you know, type them right in and we'll see them. But I do like the two parts of this book. That's why I also love it, because mindfulness has helped me so much in my life, and that you have the story aspect of your book as well as these transformational tools, like real tools that they seem so simple, but when you integrate them and regularly do them in your life, you realize how powerful they are. Like, how did you choose the mindfulness tools that you chose for this book? Or maybe share a little bit more about like how mindfulness has helped you and how you chose the tools.
Absolutely. And I want to mention one more gratitude, because I see Carrie's here today. And so Carrie, and how can I mention this? When I first started writing my book, I wanted to get feedback from people and just put it out there just to see. And she was able to preview the book. I've never met Carrie, so Carrie, hi. And so what happened is, my friend Sam, she is the owner of Busy Box Buddy, and she put a sample of my book inside their May box. And so we were able to share that with families and get some feedback. And I want to mention at the back cover a couple more gratitudes. The Chandala family and their kind words for my book. The Brawl family, which is Carrie and her family. And then one of my teacher partnerships here in a dual language classroom for English and Spanish, because my book's also available in Spanish. Anna Johnson, yes, thank you so much to them too. But moving back into the mindfulness piece and wellness, like that is my huge passion, because I realized I wasn't taking as good a care of myself. And once I realized the importance of that and putting ourselves first so that we can help others around us, help hold space for those around us, and truly adults who are here with us and who are with children, the biggest gift you can give, and this is one of those favorite quotes I have, is the gift of your presence, fully being here. And so when we are present, our nervous system can impact the nervous systems of the children who we're with. And so these tools can help you too. And they're very strategic and in a specific order. Everything I do is very specific. So let me take you on that journey too here. So the first tool is your body. You are aware of how your body is feeling. The other one's about the colors in your space, just being fully aware here. Because once we are here with our body, we can then be here with our thoughts. So then you'll notice that the next one moves into the gratitude piece, which that's expanding out. And just when you get stuck in those mindset pieces, you're able to bring your thoughts here, present. What are you literally present for right here, right now? And then finally, being able to tell yourself those words out loud, for you to believe that, for you to know that, for you to grow into it, which is why I read this even twice, because sometimes we may not feel it right now, but that means it's still in our heart and we have to grow it. And then the bonus one is the I wonder, because at any moment we have that power to choose, and that's choice.
Let's just take
a mic drop there.
Pause for that message. Let's take a pause for that message. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah. Is there anything that you were hoping to share with us that I haven't asked so far about your book that you wanted to share? Otherwise, I know I would love to have you share all your contact information so that we can learn that. Oh, I also wanted to share that Lindsey is actually another kind of author too. She wrote chapter 34 in a book collaboration that the Coalition of Schools Educating Mindfully did. We had over 40 educators, people who are inspiring in their school districts, write chapters of how they're bringing mindfulness into their schools, as well as like over 20 organizations. So I don't know, maybe you could share a little bit of what you shared in your chapter in your book, because that kind of has to do with your wellness theme of how passionate you are about helping people with that.
Yeah. So in regards to the COSM book, that is basically I put in a structure on how you can develop structures within the school system, whether it's at a school base or a district base, and the phases you can go through to create opportunities in an organic way. Because, you know, wellness for us, especially for our adults who are tuning in, when we were growing up, it may not have been as integrated into the school systems, and being able to be present right now and have this opportunity to share this with our young learners, I truly believe that we can transform schools and our world through wellness. And it's for everybody. It's accessible anytime, anywhere. It's free, and you can differentiate it for you. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's your way. And so you just have to find the way that speaks to you for you to be just fully present in all that you do with your heart.
Mm-hmm. So do you view the world a little differently now after you've created this, and it's reached out to so many like unknown people, like the ripple effects that are happening?
Yes, I can only imagine, and I wish books had like a tracking device. I wish you can actually see where your book goes. I mean, I looked on my website and the amount of countries that have at least been on my website, and just like knowing where the book can be and where it can go. We were talking just beforehand, like one book in one classroom for just 1 year is 20 kids potentially. But that book's not just for 1 year. That book's for year after year after year. And if you think about that, out of the how many ever books I've sold, which I think at this point I'm almost at 600, which is amazing. But I'd love to see that more. But you just think about that, like you're able to think about even just 100 classrooms, how many lives that is. Like, that's just amazing to think about the impact that it can have. And that's my purpose and why I did this, is I want to share it. I want the world to just, continue its growth journey, and to us be a part of it, and to be a positive part of the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think to end with a mindful moment led by you would be really special, but maybe we can get some of I definitely want you to share like that last page of your book where you share where to your contact information and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and maybe while I'm saying that out loud, I don't know if either Tracy, if you or anyone at Barbara's Bookstore, if you want to write it in the chat box. But again, my website is www.thebutterflywithin.me.
I love that.
For Twitter, that's really, if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's really like professional tools and strategies and targeted within education. And that's at Lindsey Frank 88. Instagram are like inspiring pieces. I like to do kind of a butterfly of the day or different updates or pictures that I find, but mainly the butterfly quotes. And that's also at Lindsey Frank 88. And then on Facebook, that's my main one for events and inspirations and updates or blog posts. Like, that's kind of the go-to space, and that's at The Butterfly Within. And so feel free to follow, like, share. I'm very engaged in all of them because I like to learn and share. So Yeah, feel free to share. I should also mention there's 2 hashtags. If you wanted to share anything about my book, you can also like take a picture of your flower or your butterfly, and you can use hashtag big, better, beautiful change. And then anything else you want to just connect with the butterfly, it's hashtag the butterfly within.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure we'll all love to help bring it into your book into more schools, into more homes, to spread the word. I love that it's in Spanish, that you did that right away. I get so many people like asking me for Spanish resources through the coalition. Yes.
All right, well, thank you all so much. Let's just close really just for a moment here. Go ahead and place your hand on your heart. Again, feel that heartbeat. And just having this moment of just gratitude for spending this time together, and gratitude for you being you. And then knowing that the butterfly within me sees, honors, and values the butterfly within each and every one of you and beyond. And go ahead and take one more breath in and a breath out, with a smile coming back to our space. And thank you all so much for your time and all of the gratitudes. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Thanks, Barbara's Bookstore. Purchase below, 10% off. It's great. Again, the hardcover. If you do the hardcover, I signed them all from the Vernon Hills Hawthorne Center.
Yes, and I know they're recording this event. If you want to share it with friends afterwards, Laura from Barbara Bookstore shared the link there to find the recording, and you could go to her. I'm sure go to her social media. She'll have shared the link there as well. Thank you, Lindsey. Thanks everybody for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.